Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and before we get started, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this on your Facebook page. Okay, we're in the shade garden today, and this is a shade garden I kind of created for myself because I don't actually have any natural shade in any of my gardens. And we've been doing a lot of work in here, but we've got some new plants to get planted in a few places. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be working on some containers. Basically almost everything, actually everything in my shade garden is in containers. And I'm excited to go ahead and get started on all of that. So let me start by just placing a couple of plants and then we can go from there. Doing a lot of hand talking. Okay, so we've definitely gone in and filled in a lot, and that is one of my big goals, is to fill in a lot of space. A lot of these things are perennials, some of them are annuals. The begonias do act as an annual. Let me switch, hold up. Okay, there's regular. The begonias do act as an annual, but we can see about lifting them at the end of the season. We've got a few things over here that are nice and large and will fill these containers. I don't quite have this all the way filled. I might move a few of the begonias over there. Let me see what I want to do with that. And then over here, we did tuck in a calla lily. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go container by container, get these planted up, and talk to you about each of these varieties of plants. Okay, right here we are going to start with a giant white calla lily, also named, the botanical name is Xanthuskia Ethiopica, because you know I'm going to just butcher that. But it does get 3 to 4 feet tall, and it is hardy in my zones, and it creates these big, beautiful, gorgeous blooms. So now one of the first things I need to do about it is I need to cut off some of these leaves that don't look great. Let me remove some of those. There was a broken one over here on the side somewhere. Oh yeah, right here. And cut that off. That little bell you hear is actually on the little this sweet little guy back here, which I actually think I'm going to take it off because the plant's going to be so big it's going to cover it, and we'll use it somewhere else. All right, I do have drip irrigation set up to here. All right, y'all, I was just checking for leaks. Been having some struggles with some standing water over here. Now we actually have a lot of rain on the way. So I'm hoping to get these projects done before I get too far, or before the rain arrives. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start by loosening up a lot of this soil here. This is like an old feeding bin, grain antique bin that I got years ago at an antique show, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out of its container for now so that we can pull the soil and put it in here. All right, I'm also going to start by adding a little compost in here. Giant white calla lilies produce elegant, trumpet-shaped white flowers with lush green foliage. They grow 24 to 36 inches tall, prefer full sun to part shade, and need moist, well-draining soil, hardy in zones 8 through 10. We need a little bit more soil. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and put my drip irrigation back at the base of the plant. Just like that. And we're good to go. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So now I love this section. I've got this beautiful vintage trellis with clematis. This is an oak leaf hydrangea, which I'm hoping grows really tall and big. And I've got a few existing plants. I've got a lot of hellebore over here. I have a bleeding heart dicentra right here. And I've got a few other little, a pulmonaria, another hellebore. But I really want to fill the space in more. One of the things I'm going to use as the initial, and let me put some of this stuff down so that you guys can see, and then we'll add in as we're going. All right, one of the initial perennials I want to put in here is a Tradescantia. This particular variety is called Pale Pluma, and I love the look of it. It has purple on its underneath colors and a little bit of like a luminescence quality here. So I'm going to go ahead and place that first. And I'm going to plant it with just a little bit of biotone. Oh, and I need to be a little careful that I don't mess with these clematis roots too much. Pale Puma Tradescantia has silvery green leaves with purple accents, giving it a shimmering, textured look. It thrives in bright, indirect light and well-draining soil, growing low and spreading nicely, hardy in zones 9 through 11. Okay, and then also before I get too far in, I'm going to go ahead and plant this other little perennial. It's like a little miniature shrub called polemonium, golden feathers perennial, and does like shade. And it's not a really big perennial, but the color is just so beautiful and so unique. I just couldn't pass it up. I just really, really like it. So I thought that that pop of lime green here in the shade garden would be beautiful. Golden Feathers Polemonium features bright golden foliage with delicate blue springtime flowers. It grows 12 to 18 inches tall and prefers part shade. It needs moist and well-draining soil and is hardy in zones 4 through 8. Okay, and from this point on, what I want to do is I want to backfill with begonias that I started from tubers. And this is really a very cost-effective way for me to grow begonias because I love tuberous begonias. However, they tend to be a little bit pricey. So I've got several different varieties. I've got an odorata angelique, and I potted these all up on March 1st. I've also got a Piketty yellow. And I've got a ballerina apricot. So really excited to go ahead and get those tucked in. I'm also going to be adding biotone with those as well. Odorata Angelique begonias offer fragrant, fully double, soft pink blooms with lush green foliage. It thrives in shade to part shade, grows 12 to 18 inches tall, and is typically grown as an annual, but hardy in zones 9 through 11. Piketty yellow begonia features rich yellow flowers edged with soft red margin. It prefers shade to part shade, grows about 12 to 16 inches tall, and is hardy in zones 9 through 11, often grown as an annual elsewhere. Ballerina apricot begonia has delicate apricot-colored ruffled blooms that cascade beautifully. It thrives in part to full shade, grows about 12 to 18 inches tall, and is hardy in zones 9 through 11. Okay, sweet. I think I need to run some additional drip lines, basically the ones that have the emitters. I think I need to run a little bit through this front part where the begonias are because they don't have drip up towards the front of the bed. So let me do that real quick. So I've got my brown emitter tubing. So basically I'm going to connect it back here to a big piece, and then I'm going to run it all the way through and connect it back to a big piece that I have here. So we're going to start by putting a straight coupler in. Make a punch back here in the big tube, and then come through and put the other side of that coupler into place, just like that. And then I'm just going to kind of weave this through the space. I'm going to use, there we go. And then we're going to end up connecting it at the back as well. So we'll go ahead and finish it with another straight line coupler. I'll make a hole. And then stake this in place and we should be good to go. All right, sweet. And this should fill in to the point where you don't see any of the soil. Okay, I've got some cardboard so I can work down here a little bit easier. So I have a collection of containers down here. All of them are containers that I've had for years. And I think we have to do some like propping up to kind of get them in place. And then once we're done, we're also going to run drip to all of these. Now, this one right here had some gladiolas from the past. It looks like it's got some seeds trying to do some stuff. And I think that I'm going to end up adding more to this one. I might put the hanging basket down in here. I'm digging that, what I just said. Put in the big impatiens, so I have a big bright pop color here. And then I could have the creeping Jenny off the front. Let's see what that looks like. So I've got a hanging basket with lots of beautiful color in it. However, I keep forgetting to water it, which is a problem. So let me see. I think I'm going to start by moving some of the soil over here. I'm going to add some compost and some biotone. And then I'm going to start by removing the hanging part of this basket. You basically just go through. This is a New Guinea impatient deep salmon. All right, so removed that part. And then come in and work it towards this back corner over here. I think I need to dig it a little deeper. All right, and then we'll use some of this soil to backfill. And I think by doing this, it adds a bright pop of color here that's going to be needed because most everything I'm putting over here is green in nature. So having a little more color, I think will be really good. Okay, that looks good. Now, on this front portion, I have some creeping Jenny that I believe there's multiple plants in here. So let me come in here and look. Yes. No. So what we're gonna do is, let me take some of the soil out again. And we're gonna take this creeping Jenny, we're gonna tuck it right in the edge there so we have a nice bright pop of color right there on that front edge, and it should spill over. Deep salmon New Guinea impatiens show off vibrant, deep coral salmon flowers against glossy, dark green leaves. They grow 10 to 14 inches tall, thrive in part shade to shade, and are hardy in zones 10 through 11. Goldilocks Creeping Jenny is a low-growing plant with bright chartreuse gold foliage that forms a lush trailing mat. It grows best in full sun to part shade, spreads quickly, and loves moist soil. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. Okay, now back here, I've got a container that needs soil. I'm going to go ahead and throw some compost in the bottom first. Let me go grab some soil. And the soil that I keep going to get is from my big bin of soil, of recycled soil. Okay, so in here, go ahead and dump all that in because we're going to have to get some more. In here, we are going to be putting a spotted leopard plant, which I'm super excited about. You guys saw the standard one that I had that came back, even though we had a really intense freezing weather. And so I really wanted a spotted one with these beautiful colors. So we're going to go ahead and backfill and add that in. Spotted leopard plant features large glossy green leaves with bright yellow spots. It thrives in part to full shade, grows 18 to 24 inches tall, and prefers consistently moist, rich soil. It also produces yellow blooms in fall. Hardy in zones 7 through 10. I know that's small now, but that's going to be glorious when it fills, and I'll also kind of hide this portion where the hose reel is. If need be, it can be pulled forward though to help out. Now towards the back, I have a hydrangea that's making its way back here. All I'm really going to do is throw in some biotone to the base of this hydrangea. And once I get this hooked up consistently to drip, this hydrangea will take off like the other ones on the other side of the shade garden. Last container right here. Now this container I'm going to put in, actually I think I might trade these off. Put this one back here. All right, I need to add some compost here. And we're going to put a Snapdragon vine here. This is the first time I've ever had a Snapdragon vine. I don't know much about it. Kind of excited to see how it does. I want to put it in right at the base. Snapdragon vine produces delicate snapdragon-like blooms in shades of purple, pink, and white on trailing vines. It grows best in full sun to part shade, climbs 6 to 8 feet tall, and is hardy in zones 9 through 11, grown as an annual in cooler zones. All right, and then I'm kind of just going to work this up a little bit into the structure, hoping that it will take off and start climbing on its own, which I think it will, because it is already tripled in size since I got it, and I've neglected it. So can't really find much to level these up right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and smash some extra mulch down there just to even that out a little bit. We need to run drip irrigation to these. Let me go grab what I need. Okay, change of plans. I'm going to go out to eat with my family. Just fill up real well. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna go out to eat with my family. So I need to go shower. So I'm gonna water these in really, really well, and then I'll come back tomorrow And we will go ahead and set up drip to these. And I still have hostas to plant as well. So we'll do those tomorrow too. Okay, so I got distracted. And I forgot to set up drip to these containers. So you can see that my New Guinea impatiens is a little worse for wear. I think it'll be fine once I get water hooked up to it. But yeah, definitely need to get over here and get these all hooked up. So I have an existing system of drip. Basically, I'm going to connect into that system and then I'm going to run a line over here and hook up water to each of these, which I think will work really well. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to start with my 1/4 inch tubing, and I'm going to put a straight line coupler on the end of it, and then I'm going to punch this into the 1/2 inch line that goes all the way around the space and then run it over here. All right, so I've got this here, and I think I'm going to cut off a little bit of tubing just to kind of work with that and kind of think about how I want to set this up. So let me snake this around, because I can always add additional tubing on there. And I'm going to sit on the wet ground and my butt's going to get mud all over it. It's fine, it's fine. So I've kind of got the tubing. I think I am going to add back onto it, which I know it's counterproductive considering I just cut off. Should have thought more through it. But if you make cut in the wrong place, it's okay. This shows you can go right back to it. And basically, I'm going to bring this line around until I feel like I can adequately approach every one of these containers. Just like that. I think that looks good. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a T-coupler, and I'm going to cut into the line. I'm going to insert the T-coupler, and it will give me a splice off. So it'll allow me to splice off to each of these plants. All right, and then once I have a T-coupler in place, I'm going to take a short piece of black tubing, maybe about 3 to 4 inches, and I'm going to install a dripper on here. This is a 1 gallon per hour dripper. Install that on the end, and then that'll go at the base of the plant. And I'll do that for each of these plants. Okay, and then for this last one, I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to put a T-coupler on the end of one of the line. And because there's multiple plants in here, not just one that I need to feed to the base, I'm going to make a loop. So I'm going to do it, attach the brown 1/4 inch tubing with emitters and kind of figure out a loop. Looks good. And then reattach the loop at the end. And then this side plant, we're going to work around this side plant right here that is just dying for water. We're going to water it in too. Put a couple of pins in it. There we go. Yay, they're all hooked up to drip now. Okay, and because it's been so long since I have water, I'm going to go ahead and re-water them in. And the New Guinea impatiens, it will perk back up. Okay, So they don't look lovely right now. I will say the lack of water made the Snapdragon vines start blooming, which is pretty stinking cool. But these will fill in beautifully. Now I'll probably have to make some adjustments. This leopard one, as it gets more full, I'll have to probably bring it forward, which I think is good. Now I still have a few more plants to plant, and I think I'm going to save it for another video. I think we're going to work in this area. Once again, I have some beautiful containers and pots that I'm not utilizing, which is ridiculous. And I don't love the look of the downspout right there. And I heard at Costco that they've got their Japanese maples in for $40. So wouldn't it be cool if I had a really tall planter with a Japanese maple and then a cluster of all these containers in front of it, which would be really cool because I've still got a fern. I still have several hostas. I've got some clematis, although the clematis is going to go out by the new climbing roses. But yeah, I think it'll look really good. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm laughing because there's such a difference in the garden in just a few days. Truthfully, let me show you because you're not going to believe some of the difference. Let me show you. Okay, it's been like 5 days. And in that time, I had like half of this Beach Jubilee clematis die, but it has a new sprout coming up, so we'll just keep fostering that. So I went ahead and removed it. The Belle de Woking is finished blooming over here. Our oak leaf hydrangea is blooming. And remember that calla lily that we just put in here? Look at that. Putting off its first massive bloom. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Over here, hydrangeas going crazy. Looks like they could use a little bit of iron. They look like they're having some iron deficiency issues. But yeah, these heucheras over here are putting off blooms. I'm going to fill that in with a fern or something else. Big changes already. Feeling good about it. Just continuing to fill in as I find plants that I love that are on my budget level, I think is really important. I haven't discovered a lot of things that I can grow from seed for the shade garden. I've discovered a lot of things that I can grow from cuttings for the shade garden, but not seed. So I'd be very interested if any of y'all have any ideas in regards to that. Sorry, I'm just distracted by the pretty flowers. It's looking so good. I haven't been out here in a few days. Looking so good. I'd be very interested if you have any ideas for growing plants from seed for the shade garden, because I'd really like to do some fun stuff with that. I'm also wanting to do some plants tucked in on my potting bench. However, there are things that I'm going to forget to water. So I'm not sure what that looks like. I have to think about it. What those would be, or if I could run drip for them that wouldn't ruin the table. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, seeing all these brand new plants going into the shade garden, feeling really good about them. Bought some, grew some from cuttings, and I grew some from bulbs or tubers. So very excited about those begonias that I started that way. So it's going to be really fun to see this continue filling in. It's beautiful now. It's only going to get better. So really excited about that. Working our way the direction towards the entrance. We still have another corner of the shade garden that needs to be worked on that looks terrible. And so hopefully that'll be coming up in the next few weeks. As always, make sure you like and comment on the video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the video so much. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop me an emoji below, letting me know you made it to the end of the video and you say hi. And be sure to check me out on my Patreon community. The link is in the video description below. It is a group of all gardeners who are into gardening, and she's a mad gardener. It's great. I'm doing all of my social media there and only there. And I love it because it's just a very select group of people. It's very, very enjoyable because we all just are kind of just talking about gardening, and it's kind of lovely and peaceful and great. There is a free level you can join at. There are additional paid levels as well. The higher up you are in the levels, the more access you get, including videos that are not available on YouTube, full-length videos not available on YouTube, participating in group chats, and sharing photos, which is my absolutely favorite aspect of it. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.